Hi everybody, Eric here, and today I want to talk about creating spelling tests in Seesaw. Now, whether my students are virtual or in class face-to-face with me, I love using Seesaw for spelling tests because kids can really go at their own pace with it, so I'm not repeating words over and over. And then also, if I have 3 different spelling groups or 4 different spelling groups in my classroom, not a problem. I don't have to figure out how to read one word for one group and one word for another because I can just assign these spelling tests to each separate group. And I'll show you that in just a minute. But first, let's talk about creating this activity. So I'm just going to name it spelling test. Okay. And then I would type out my instructions for students, and I'm not going to do that right now, but I'll just put in some letters. I would add voice instructions, but then I would skip this add multimedia section. I'd go right down to the template. And then I would choose drawing because this gives me the most options to add different objects for my students. Okay, now one trick I would tell you is that if you have the ability to use multi-page and maybe do 2 words or 1 word on each page, that really helps for younger students. Gives them more room to work if they want to draw the words or type the words. You know, younger kids, it just helps to have that extra space. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to tap on the 3 dots, go to background, and then I'm going to choose this option right here. Okay, now if this template doesn't work for you, that's okay. You can find other templates on Google. You could create your own. This is just an example here. And then I'm going to tap on the T, and I am going to resize this and just make it number 1. So there's spelling word number 1. And I'm just going to drag it right here, and then I am going to resize it, and there we go. Now the next thing that I do is I tap on the 3 dots right below that number, and I go to voice. This is where I'm going to record the word and record my sentence. The spelling word is the. I went to the store. The. Okay, so now my students can tap on that little audio object right there, and they can listen to that sentence and that word as many times as they want. And then finally, I'm going to tap on the 3 dots, go to lock, and then lock all so that you don't move that by accident. Another trick that I use is I leave directions, and there's a lot of ways to do this. You can use a Bitmoji, you can use a shape, any object works, but let me just grab a shape right here because it's the easiest. Okay, so I can grab a little shape here, and my students know that if they see a star in the corner, that's where they find the directions. I always do this. And I do the same thing. I tap on it, I have my voice, and just tell kids what they're going to be doing. Boys and girls, you're going to tap on the little speaker icon next to each number to hear your spelling word. Then you can use your finger to write the spelling word or use the T to type your spelling word. There we go. And then I would go ahead and I would lock that. So now my students know they can listen to this for their directions. Now, once I've finished all my spelling words, then I'm going to go ahead and click the check mark, and I'm going to save it. And what you'll notice is that even though I didn't put anything here, that's all right. Seesaw will just make a copy of your template in the instructions. Now, when I'm ready to assign it, I go over here to Edit Students, Folders, and Skills, and then I do 2 things. First is I would choose the students that are in that spelling group. And then what I like to do to organize these is I go to Folders. And then I might create a folder that says, like, spelling test group A. That way it's very easy for me to go back and see who did this spelling test, because once they turn it into me, it's automatically going to go into this special folder, and it's easy for me to find if I need to go back and grade them or things later. Okay? And there we go. And now assign to those kiddos. All right, another example of this I'll show you is I use this for vowels too. You can see right here I added that audio object. Students listen to the short A word, and then they spell it down here. And then for this example, I used my Bitmoji here to give the instructions instead of that star, but it's the same thing. And one last trick I'll leave you with these audio objects. What I did here is I attached the audio object to this little speech bubble, and I did that because it's easier to move it anywhere I want. sometimes when you put these little audio objects in here, they don't quite go where you want them to go. So just pick a smaller object that you can move around and add it there. All right, I hope this was helpful for you. If you have any questions at all, you can of course put your questions down in the comment section, and I'll be happy to help you out. Thanks for watching.